every single hour of every single day, deep inside a top-secret government facility in Washington, D.C., giant industrial machines are humming away. Sheets of plain paper slide through rollers and emerge as money. More than $500 million flow into the U.S. economy every single day, created right here in this building. But here's the shocking truth. These freshly printed bills are nothing compared to the real money being made. Because over 90% of all U.S. dollars don't exist as paper at all. They exist as digital numbers, floating in cyberspace. And those numbers, they're increasing by $4 billion every single day. So, where is all this money coming from? Who creates it? And how does it silently shape your life? Every price you pay, every loan you take, every hour you work. To answer that, we need to go back to a time before money even existed. Thousands of years ago, long before banks and credit cards, imagine a farmer who needed a tool. He'd visit the local tool maker, but he had nothing to trade. So instead, he'd make a promise. I'll pay you back with food from my next harvest. The tool maker agreed because he trusted the farmer's word. That promise itself became the first form of currency. Soon, people started using things that everyone needed: cattle, grain, salt, as standardized payment. Salt, in fact, was so valuable that Roman soldiers were literally paid in it. That's where the word salary comes from. But trade kept growing. Faster, larger, global. Cows and sacks of grain were too bulky to carry across cities or oceans. So humans invented something new: metal coins. Gold and silver were rare, shiny, durable, and easy to divide. For the first time, a farmer in China could sell grain to a trader from Greece using universally accepted coins. Trade exploded across continents. But traveling with gold was risky. Thieves, storms, war. People needed a safer system. Enter 17th century London. Trusted goldsmiths offered a service. Leave your gold with us for safekeeping. We'll protect it in our vault. In return, they handed customers a paper receipt, a promise note saying, "You can collect your gold anytime." Soon, people realized they didn't actually need the gold itself. The paper note was enough to buy goods. It was lighter, safer, and everyone trusted it. The goldsmiths noticed something fascinating. Almost no one came back to claim their gold, so they started lending out fake notes. Notes not backed by any gold, but accepted as if they were. That was the birth of credit, and the first moment humans began creating money out of nothing. When they lent out notes worth 100 gold coins, they didn't lose any gold. Yet they charged interest, say 5%. When the borrower paid it back, the goldsmith had made a profit, and the total amount of money in the economy had increased. Money was no longer a physical thing. It was a concept, an idea based entirely on trust. Fast forward a few centuries, goldsmiths became banks. Their promise notes became banknotes, and eventually, digital money. Today, when you see a balance on your phone, it's not actual stacks of bills in a vault. It's just numbers, a digital promise that the bank owes you money. And when you take out a loan, the bank doesn't hand you someone else's cash. They simply type new numbers into your account. Congratulations, brand new money has just been created. This is called fractional reserve banking. Banks only need to keep a tiny portion of deposits as real cash. The rest can be lent out, creating new money that never existed before. This system fuels everything, from your home mortgage to billion-dollar corporations to government spending. But why do banks need to create money? Let's imagine 4 people with a total of $100 between them. They trade, buy, and sell. But soon, one person ends up with most of the cash. The rest can't afford to trade anymore. The economy slows down. By creating new money through loans, banks allow more people to participate again. More transactions, more jobs, more productivity. But here's the dark side. When money creation outpaces productivity, prices go up. That's inflation. Your money buys less. Your savings shrink. And slowly, debt becomes the fuel that keeps the system running. Whenever banks run low on reserve cash, they borrow from the central bank, the Federal Reserve in the U.S. But where does that money come from? The answer: government bonds. Here's how it works. The U.S. government issues a bond, basically a fancy IOU. Investors, foreign countries, and banks buy these bonds, giving the government real money. The government then spends it on salaries, infrastructure, defense, and welfare. That money flows back into the economy, and eventually back to the banks. But there's a catch. The U.S. almost always spends more than it earns. So it keeps issuing new bonds, borrowing more money to pay off old debts. It's a loop of infinite debt, and it's how the entire world economy keeps spinning. Last year alone, the U.S. spent $7 trillion, more than it collected in taxes. So it simply created more money. As crazy as it sounds, this is how every major economy on Earth operates. Debt isn't just a side effect of modern money, it's the foundation. Every dollar in your pocket was born as someone's debt. A loan, a bond, a promise to pay later. Without debt, new money can't enter the system. Without new money, the system stops growing. That's why governments encourage borrowing. That's why low interest rates matter. That's why inflation is tolerated, even planned. But what happens when the debt gets too big? When inflation rises faster than wages? When trust in the system starts to break? That's when central banks step in, raising interest rates to slow the flow of money or printing even more to save the system. It's a delicate balance, one that affects every person on Earth. As we move deeper into the digital age, cash is disappearing. Credit cards, mobile apps, crypto, every transaction leaves a digital trail. Soon, countries may launch central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, programmable money where every dollar can be tracked, traced, or even frozen. It's efficient, but it raises questions. Who controls your money? And can freedom exist when your wallet depends on a central server? The answer will define the next century. So the next time you open your banking app and see a number on your screen, remember, it's not a pile of cash in a vault. It's trust. Trust in a system built on promises, debt, and human belief. Money isn't real. It's a shared story, one that we all agreed to believe. But like all stories, it can change. The question is, when it does, who will control the next chapter? This is the story of money. Invisible, powerful, unstoppable. The one invention that controls every other. Thanks for watching. If you found this journey into the world of money fascinating, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content that makes you think.